everyone, and welcome to this episode of Academic August 2020. Now, 2020 has been a very odd and very challenging year for most of us, if not all of us. And one thing that I think we're all going to remember from this year, or take away from this year, is going to be that at one point most of us were in lockdown. If you're listening from somewhere like Sweden where they didn't actually have a lockdown, congratulations, you didn't lock down. Stop typing. But most of us were in lockdown. And so that really is an appropriate segue to this week's video, because what we're going to be taking a look at is a way that people used to lock down Apple Mac computers. This was back in the 90s. It was something called AtEase. And this is the login screen from AtEase that you can see just now on your screen. Now, AtEase did not come with Mac OS or System 7 or whatever you want to call it. But it was something that you could actually get, and for your Mac. And what it did was, not only did it make it possible to lock down your computer so that students couldn't access things that they weren't supposed to be accessing, it also made the computer easier to use for said students. So what I've done is I've set up an administrator account and a student account, just to kind of show you some of what AtEase could do. So, without further ado, let's go in. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the student account. Now, this is like a login screen. Well, I mean, this is a login screen. This is a lot like your Microsoft family login, or later on Windows XP or 7 or Vista or whatever login. You get a list of names. You click on the name of the person you want, and you can either start or shut down. Now, if you've got a fancy Mac that's got advanced power management, soft power on, soft power off, shutdown would turn your computer off. Otherwise, it would say it's now safe to turn off your machine, and you could then turn it off. So what we're going to do is we're going to log into the student profile. So click Start. It's going to ask us for the password. We can change the password from the screen, but we'd have to know what the old password was. So here we are.
Claris works for kids.
Whoops. That's that's something that we're going to be going into. So this is the AtEase desktop that you could have.
Desk.
So you've got AtEase items. Now, when you set up an account for a student, you have to actually show what you want that student to be able to access. You actually have to be able to specify what is going to appear on here. So for this student, I've given them access to Mouse Practice, ClarisWorks 3, ClarisWorks for Kids 1.0, and for some reason, Desktop Patterns. And it's trying to, and it wants to talk about it. So I will let it watch this. And I do apologise actually for the screen. Hang on, let's see. I should actually be able to modify that somewhat. There we go. Sorry about that. Right, as you mouse over these items, it will tell you what it is.
Desktop patterns.
So I just put that in just to see if it would actually work. So let's set a desktop pattern. I quite like this one actually. No school anywhere would do that, but there you go. You can actually customize your desktop because I let you. How benevolent am I? Now, I've not added things like Microsoft Office on here, but the Microsoft Office Manager has loaded up, so I wonder if it'll work. Yep, that does indeed work, actually. So maybe I would take that out of the startup items if I didn't want the student to have access to Microsoft Word. But let's actually use this properly, how it's meant to be used. Let's use AtEase to open a program. And the program we're going to open is the mouse practice, because I quite like this, actually. Brilliant way to teach kids how to use a mouse on the computer.
Mouse practice.
Yeah, and we're going to open mouse practice. Here we go. So we've got some multimedia.
Hi, I'm going exploring underwater. Want to join me?
Yes, I do.
Move the mouse so the pointer's on me, and we can get started. Okay, here we go.
I love this. The colours as you go deep in the water go from aqua to light blue or indigo blue, whatever you want to call it, to navy blue.
Use your flashlight to look around. Move the mouse so your flashlight shows you the animal that is here.
So this is kind of a sea-themed... this is kind of a nautical-themed mouse demo, so if kids are into the beach and the sea, this could be quite fun for them. Even if you're running on an Apple Mac in a school in Bradford, which is about an hour to 2 hours away from the nearest beach. Okay. Oh, right, yep, there's more to the animal than meets the...
Now, move the flashlight to see the other animal.
So this is... this part of the tutorial basically is concentrating on moving the mouse rather than using the mouse button. And yes, I do mean mouse button because most of you will probably know, but for those who don't, Apple Macs were quite traditional. Apple Macs were quite well known for having single-buttoned mice. And in fact, while Mac OS tends to support two-button mice nowadays, and even more if you wanted to plug in a mouse that had more buttons, Mac OS, I think, it's still kind of the defaults are still kind of set for people only using the one button. Way. Sorry, I should probably turn my...
Now move the pointer to the pufferfish.
Ooh, so now I've got to actually do an activity where I identify...
Good.
Fish.
Now click the mouse button. Now click each of the animals.
So you've got these wee animals that are moving around and doing all kinds of derpy things. Just to get kids actually exploring. Just like, what is on the screen? What happens if I click on this? What happens if I click on that? And that's, I think, what they wanted to do. They wanted kids to really explore. That is until they got into the settings, and then all hell broke loose. You can't go in there! Don't go in there! You're not supposed to go in there! You are banned! I caught an octopus!
Let's see what else we can find.
4 hugs at once! Ooh.
A treasure chest. Let's collect the treasures. Point to the crown. Hold the mouse button down while you drag the crown into the chest.
So now we're learning.
Now drag the other treasures into the chest.
Plundering treasure. Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Alright, and now we're going to
Point to the hook and drag it down to the chest. Now release the mouse button. Bye. Thanks for joining me. If you want to go underwater again, point to me and click. If you want to stop, click the treasure chest.
So that's a quick lesson on using the mouse. Nice. So, now we can go into
Clear.
ClarisWorks for Kids. Web tools. I love that. Everything has a musical interlude. So I can start a new Word document. So we'll just or a new picture.
Undo. Redo.
Redo. Right, well, I didn't want to redo that, so let's do the classic masterpiece everyone does. Yeah, it's quite funny how there was a ClarisWorks for Kids, because the technician at our old school described ClarisWorks as being Microsoft Works for Kids. Kind of like the musical intro. Ugh! It's all wet red. That's not nice. I'm gonna undo that.
Undo.
Oh. And if I try and click on it again, it'll just redo it. There we go. So we put some yellow in here. Let's, ugh! That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted either. Hang on. Yeah, that's... let's just pretend that didn't happen.
Undo.
Okay, so I guess we could save a few things. You know, just so we've got some documents to work with. Stop that. There we go.
Same. Type a name for your work. Next. Choose a folder in which to save your work.
I like that. Homework, students, teacher. Let's save it in homework.
Same. Saved masterpiece. Slideshow. Quit. Are you sure you want to quit? Yes. Clearest.
So, I guess if I'd have saved it in student, it would have appeared there. So I guess what
Yes.
I'll do...
Quit.
Go back into old work, homework, and there we go.
Save as. Type a name for your work. Next. Choose a folder in which to save your work. Save. Saved masterpiece. Quit. Are you sure you want to quit? Yes. Click.
Okay, maybe it would. Oh, that's student. Oh well, let's try going into ClarisWorks 3 and see what we can do. Not enough memory to run macro media player. Well, boo-hoo. Anyway, word processing. We can do a document. Ooh, what could I write? What can I write? And here we have student, and this is the only folder I have access to, but I can still save it as any kind of document. So let's save it now as SOS. And then if I go into student, there we go. There's my note. So that is an AtEase desktop. Now I can, if I needed to, I can now go to File and Quit, and then that will take me back to the main login screen. So let's log in as me. Oops. Now, as you can see here, we have a more regular macOS desktop, and the new pattern that I set as the student has actually taken effect on my profile as well. So, why don't we go into AtEase and we'll actually make some changes. So let's see how to do this. Or is it in the control panel? Okay, AtEase installers. Da, da, da. Oh, there it is. There it is, AtEase setup. So, I've set an administrator password, which is different from my password. So what I can do is I can go in and give and take away access to people, and I can choose whether AtEase is on for a particular person. I can add new users, I can take away users. So what we're going to do is we're going to open a student profile. So I'm going to type in the student's password. Oh yeah, that's right, the student's password is password. So we don't want them to be able to change desktop patterns anymore, so we'll remove that ability. What we do want though is to add Microsoft Office applications, so let's add those. So we'll give them access to Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, and Microsoft Word. Excellent. And we can give them minimum or otherwise menus. Save files anywhere or only in the user's folder. We can allow access to Finder. No, we're not going to be doing that. Excellent. So that is now done. So what I can do is I can just go File and Quit. And then I can go to AtEase, log in as the student, and there we go. We have more applications. So we've got Microsoft Word. So now they can legitimately access it. Whoops. And unlike Microsoft Word 6 for Windows, you can use long file names. So there we are. So that's been a wee look at AtEase for the Mac. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. If you have, whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen. But if you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and join me next week when hopefully there will be more Academic August. Cheery bye.